As the report illustrates, there are 4 key areas, or at least 4 key areas that Amnesty examined that are perpetuating the lack of justice on the reservation. The first is the jurisdictional maze, which is where the maze of injustice title came from. Oftentimes, when these crimes are committed on reservations, nobody knows who has the responsibility to prosecute the perpetrator. It could be a tribal authority, it could be a state authority, and it could be a responsibility of federal authorities. On Standing Rock, there's a particularly interesting situation that I'll let these 2 women share with you because it gets a little bit more complicated. But overall, that statistic where we have 86% of non-native perpetrators coming onto the reservation, if they commit those crimes on the reservation, who prosecutes them? Who holds them accountable, and who provides the justice for these women who are falling victim to this atrocious sexual violence on a regular basis? So that's one of the issues. The other issue, of course, is the federal government's obligation to protect the human rights of not just indigenous women, but women all around the world. And it's that lack of support and the constant and consistent underfunding of programs such as the Indian Health Services and the BIA, which provides law enforcement for the reservation, that allows these injustices to continue to happen. In addition to the federal government responsibility, they have also not provided adequate documentation or any sort of baseline study to provide the statistics that we would need to show quite possibly how much more rampant this violence is on the reservation.
My name is Anushka Majigijiklikwe. That's my Indian name. It means colors across the sky woman. I'll introduce myself. I bet you that's Arlene calling you. Even when we're 10 states away. I would start by introducing myself by my Indian name, because that's where I get my power from. So I get the courage to go on a lot of times, on strength. My given name is Tanika Williams. I used to be a 3 legs, no longer married. I married into the Standing Rock Nation about 6, almost 7 years ago now. I've since been divorced. I call Standing Rock my home.
I worked in Cheyenne River over 10 years for domestic violence. After budget cuts for Bush and advocates got cut there, I was hired by the South Dakota Coalition to start a program in Standing Rock as there was none. So they wanted me to start a program to where we can service Native women and all women of Standing Rock for domestic violence issues and sexual assault issues. So I got together with board members and we formed a board. We started out with doing our, we had to develop our own bylaws, all that. We became our own 501c3. From there, we went to the district in that Standing Rock Reservation, and they donated office space. So in 2005, we opened up the doors in January to service women. At that point, I found out what having a cop not come to the to the office was really like when we called them, when women would come, and police officer wouldn't come when we called. If there was a woman come in and she's badly abused, bruises, whatnot, I had borrowed a camera and we would take the pictures and all that, but the police would never show up. And it would be like days later they'd call and they'd say, "Do you still need that police officer?" And at that point in time, we only had 1 police officer per shift because there was only 4 police officers on for a long period of time. The phone lines got cut. We called the police. They didn't even come at all when our phone lines got cut by a perpetrator. The next time we got broken into, they'd come through the wall, the apartment, from another apartment. And it was like they broke through the wall, stole our big TV, and then the next time they broke in, they kicked down the back door and came in and stole the computer system. Devil's Tower. And he called and he said, we can help, and so I'm like, okay, but I don't know how to do any of that, on the net, because we didn't have, I didn't know there was these programs out there. I didn't know there was this much network, blogging and all that. Because my main thing was, look on the internet for grants, and that's all I was doing, And so it was really shocking when they set that page up and they put that thing on there, that little click button that you can donate, and the amount of people that cared. And we got the story out there, and we were on NPR, National Public Radio,